The sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the school hallway, sneakers squeaking against polished floors, laughter fading into whispers as students moved toward their lockers. The morning had begun like any other, mundane, filled with chatter, backpacks slung carelessly over shoulders, and the heavy anticipation of another long day. But then it happened. A German shepherd in a sleek black vest marked K9 Police froze mid-step. His handler tugged lightly at the leash, but the dog would not move forward. Instead, his ears shot upright, his muscles tense like a coiled spring, and his nose pressed sharply toward the floor. His gaze locked onto a single school bag lying against the lockers. The dog let out one sharp bark, then another. Within seconds, the bustling hall fell into an eerie silence. What was just a normal school day now felt like something out of a nightmare. Students froze, exchanging anxious looks. Teachers rushed in, ushering kids away from the corridor. The officers flanking the dog stiffened, their hands instinctively brushing against their holstered weapons. Nobody moved. Nobody dared to breathe. Because when a trained K9 suddenly stops at a bag like that, everyone knows it could mean danger. Something was hidden inside. Something that could change lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the extraordinary loyalty of animals, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel Pawsitive Tales. Together, we can keep spreading stories that remind the world of love, courage, and the bonds that save lives. The officer kneeling closest to the bag was Sergeant Daniels, a veteran with 20 years of service and a face lined with more worry than age. He glanced at his fellow officers before signaling for the hallway to be cleared. The dog, Archer, didn't take his eyes off the bag. His low growl reverberated through the tense silence, more haunting than a siren. For a moment, time seemed to hang in suspension. And then the thought settled in, this wasn't just about a bag. It was about whoever had placed it there, about the story it carried, and about the ripple it was about to send through the entire community. The school gym became an evacuation point. Students whispered nervously, some crying, some clinging to their friends. Rumors spread faster than truth. Was it a bomb? Drugs? Something worse? The officers worked quickly, cordoning off the area while Archer sat patiently, his sharp gaze fixed as though he already knew what others didn't. For Sergeant Daniels, every step felt heavy, not just with duty but with memory. Years earlier, his own brother had been lost in a school tragedy, one that no one had seen coming. To him, this wasn't just protocol, it was personal. Carefully, the bomb squad arrived. Their tools gleamed under the harsh fluorescent lights, their suits bulky yet precise. And through it all, Archer remained calm, watchful, almost protective of the students he had unknowingly saved by stopping when he did. As the bag was finally unzipped, breaths were held. Hearts pounded. The anticipation was unbearable. Inside was no bomb. No weapon. Instead, there were notebooks, a sketchpad, and loose sheets of paper. Drawings dark, haunting, filled with pain. Scribbled words that spoke of loneliness, of being unseen, unheard, unwanted. Letters addressed to no one and everyone at the same time. And tucked into the corner, a journal entry that read like a silent SOS. Maybe if someone had listened, I wouldn't feel this way. Maybe if someone cared, I wouldn't want to disappear. The room went still. The danger wasn't physical, it was human. It was emotional. The bag belonged to a boy named Ethan, a quiet sophomore who kept to himself, often overlooked in the crowded halls. The officers quickly located him, sitting outside with his hood drawn low, shaking. He hadn't planned violence. He hadn't hidden anything illegal. What he had hidden was his pain, locked away inside that bag, hoping someone, anyone, would notice before it was too late. Archer, the K9, patted gently toward him, pulling against the leash until he sat down directly in front of Ethan. The boy lifted his head, startled, his tear-streaked face meeting the dog's steady brown eyes. And then something unexpected happened. Archer leaned in and pressed his head softly against Ethan's knee. That simple gesture, the warmth, the acceptance, the unspoken loyalty, broke through walls words could not. Ethan's sobs escaped, raw and unrestrained. For the first time, he didn't feel invisible. The officers didn't lecture him. They didn't treat him like a criminal. Instead, they listened. They sat with him, giving space for his silence to unravel into words. They learned about the bullying, the nights spent awake, the constant weight of not fitting in. They realized that this bag, this so-called threat, had been a desperate cry for help. And it was Archer, the loyal, watchful dog, who had answered it. Word of the incident spread, but not with the fear one might expect. Instead, it spread with compassion. Teachers began paying closer attention. Students who had once mocked Ethan now reached out, awkwardly at first, but with genuine effort. And the school changed. Slowly, it became a place where pain was noticed, where silence didn't go unheard, where no student had to feel as though their cries would be locked away in a bag no one would open. For Sergeant Daniels, it was a reminder of why he still put on the badge after so many years, the possibility to save not just lives, but hearts. And for Archer, it was just another day of being exactly what he was meant to be, a protector, a friend, and a silent hero who spoke louder through actions than any words ever could. Months later, Ethan walked into school with Archer by his side, part of a new mental health awareness program. His sketches now told a different story, of resilience, of light breaking through shadows, of a German shepherd who saw what no one else did. And when he stood in front of his classmates to share his journey, he no longer spoke with a trembling voice. Instead, he spoke with strength, saying, "Sometimes, all it takes to save someone is to stop, to notice, and to care." That's what Archer did for me. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Pawsitive Tales, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded of hope, loyalty, and second chances. Your engagement helps us keep telling stories that matter. Special request to comment: what did this story make you feel, and do you believe animals can sense pain we try to hide? Share your thoughts below, we'd love to hear from you.